So I've been thinking a lot about life stages. Um, those that have followed me for a few years will know I've taught on life stages before. Um, the life model, life stages, Eric Erickson's stuff, things around the critical journey, about the stages in our spiritual life. All very good, all very handy. Um, and I am thinking about something I'd like to know your thoughts on, maybe. Now, just for context, I turned 46 this year. My eldest uh, is turning 20 tomorrow. Happy birthday to Mia. And my youngest turns 14 in October. So I've got a 14, a 16, and a 20-year-old. I'm out of the teens. I'm into the teens, partly out of the teens. I'm definitely out of childhood. Um, Raising children as such. We're raising young adults, and I've just been thinking a lot about what this next stage looks like, um, and where to go from parenting. Now, in the life model um, put together by Jim Wilder and others from the life model, in their model they say once your youngest has turned 13 and is in adulthood, then the invitation for you as a parent is to move from parenting to elder stage, and they give examples of this, um, and so that's the invitation open to me and maybe you if you've got older kids. Now, it doesn't mean that you're done with parenting, because you certainly aren't. You, to use Ken Wilber's language, you transcend and include. So you are, always a parent, but you transcend that and include that. I'll always be my kid's dad. Um, but elderhood or eldering is something I've been thinking deeply about this year. Uh, I'm putting a manifesto together with some ideas that I have around it. Also, working in aged care 2 days a week in retirement aged care, um, with some beautiful people who are in their later stage of life or in their sunset years for many of them. Not all of them, but many of them. Um, it has been interesting working, with those people and thinking about, how they approach life, how they see this stage of life, thinking about what it would be like for me at that stage, not just physically, but more spiritually and consciously. Um, Also, having aging parents myself, there's a lot in what I'm thinking about. But what I'm noticing is that as the population is getting older, like in 25 years, a quarter of our population will be over 75. We're living longer and healthier in our bodies. The question is, are we spiritually developing? Are we developing in our maturity? I meet a lot of people who are in their sort of elder years, whatever that means to you, which is a great question. When does it start? Is it 65? Is it 50? Is it when your youngest turns 13 if you've raised children? Is it 75? This is a debate amongst geriatricians and demographers. But I will be part of, or on the cusp of, a very aging population, in that will I be working at 70, 75? Will I be able to? Should I? What am I contributing? Because as the population ages and the boomers pass away, who are the wealthiest, generation to have really lived, that were really part of an amazing economic boom. What does it look like for people who are, I'm a Gen X millennial, sort of on the cusp. What does it look like for millennials And what does it look like for my daughter when she's my age in 25 years' time? And what's life look like for her? I mean, at the moment, the chance of her getting in a home is very, very, very slim. When I say getting into a home, she'll probably be living with us for a long time. The cost of housing, the cost of living is huge. Spoke to a lovely person today at the dog park, 37, and her and her husband are like, I don't think we'll have kids. I don't know if we can actually afford to. We held back and we co-parented some extended families, kids, and what you know, what do you do when even if you wanted to, you knew that economically, and both well-paid people, that I couldn't, you know, raise a kid and be present to the child. Even for us, we were on a single income for many years, and for that reason, we're still renting. We just couldn't get into the housing market. What is it going to look like in 20 years from now? And what sort of people do we need to be? What kind of person do I need to be in the world? Do I need to be another competitor in the marketplace? Or is the calling and is the invitation and the opportunity for us to start thinking, me, my generation, people born sort of around 1980, maybe even those that are a bit older, who are thinking about, who are going to be part of this great retirement boom. I just don't know if I can be a consumer for the rest of my life. How long is, you know, postmodern neoliberal capitalism going to go? I mean, it's already gone too far, and I'm also thinking a lot about um, the fact that it is very likely that one of the better things to do will to live in an intergenerational home, and that we in Australia, who are largely part of Southeast Asia, we will, like our Asian counterparts, need to live in intergenerational family homes and move away from the individualistic model that we see now, where most Aussies, most white Aussies, live apart from their families. So I've been thinking a lot about that too. What sort of person do I have to become if the best thing for everybody is that we live in an intergenerational home, that we are around to raise and help co-parent our grandchildren? And the research suggests it benefits everybody. So yeah, thinking about that a lot, um, and thinking about the kind of person that I need to become. Now, this is the sort of stuff I'm going to pen in the manifesto. I've got some ideas, but putting this very lengthy thing out there, and I know I'm cracking on like 8 minutes here. But if you're in a similar age bracket, a similar season, maybe you've been thinking about something similar, I'd love to connect and just chat about this. This future thinking, this invitation to go from parenting to eldering instead of just extending out midlife in an individualistic, consumer capitalist way, but moving to something that's more collective, decentralized, and mature, where the invitation to, as Ron Peavy calls it, a conscious eldering, conscious elderhood, um, is part of the way that we move forward. And the thing that I get to offer the next generation is what a mature and conscientious, contemplative, post-heroic soul and person looks like. Anyway, if you're still with me and you got any thoughts around that, would love to hear them. Ciao.